The following program is presented with closed captioning available. This is a service of Maricopa College's television, Channel 115.
Good evening. I would like to call to order the Governing Board meeting of December 11, 2012, and welcome to everyone in the audience. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Dr. Campbell, will you lead us?
I'll try.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I want to announce substitutions tonight. The only one I have is Steve Cresswell. I don't see Steve, for Dr. Cajun. The next item is citizens interim, but I do not have any petitions for citizens to speak. Therefore, we will move to governing board reports. Dr. Campbell, do you have a report?
Mr. Chair, I do not have a special report, but I simply to say that this is my last meeting on the board. I've been on it 28 and a half years, and I've enjoyed it, and I wish I could stay, but I have a wife who's very sick, so I'm going to have to start spending a lot of time with her. In fact, tomorrow I got to take her in for major surgery, but otherwise I would be here with you. Thank you anyway.
Well, I was going to do this a little later, but I think I'll just do it now. I've been in the district as long as Dr. Campbell has been a board member, and I've watched Dr. Campbell through the years. Dr. Campbell has been in the district through, I think, about 5 chancellors, one of them acting, but the others appointed. He has seen a great deal of growth in this district. I believe 5 new colleges were formed during his tenure on the board. Dr. Campbell was formerly an administrator for Arizona State University during part of his tenure on the board. He has been a community activist, especially working with children. He organized a children's program for the Air Force at Williams Air Force Base, and he continues to work with children in a program at his church in South Phoenix now. He's been dedicated to children, to students, for all these years. Dr. Campbell has been a voice of reason on the governing board. He is a constant supporter of the Maricopa District, contributes significantly to the work that we do. And we want you to know, Dr. Campbell, how much we appreciate your service to the board and how much we will miss you when you're gone. I have a plaque presented to Dr. Donald R. Campbell, Governing Board Member 1983 to 2012. In appreciation for your 29 years of dedicated service to the Maricopa County Community College District.
Yeah, I just want to say one other thing. I'm going to have to try to find another wall to put this one on. And I will still be connected with the district on the foundation board. And what I'll be trying to do is work with the boss man and hopefully try to get some fund donations to the colleges and hopefully get more money for student scholarships and things like that. Okay?
Mr. Lund.
Yes, I had a really nice visit to Glendale College. Had a chance to talk to the meeting with the faculty, which is really enjoyable, and it's good, a good give and take, and they had questions. I then toured the nursing program, the performing arts program, and at the nursing program, I learned about their program with NAU, where we're having a harder time giving our RNs with an AA degree jobs in hospitals, but with a partnership with NAU, they can go on to get their bachelor's degree at just going online. So it's really a neat program, and I'm really proud of my Glendale College. Then toured the performing arts and had a really nice listened to two young gentlemen play the guitar, did a beautiful job, and they were performing that night. Then I met with the student faculty. Later on, I toured EVIC, the East Valley Institute of Technology, and Doyle. I went one day, Doyle went the next day, because I just missed it. I couldn't make it. And we both toured EVIC, and it was interesting seeing and learning about the facility. 90% of their students are high school students. The Rio Salado Thomas office grand opening was very exciting. Don Campbell was able to talk there, and that's his college. And so we're really proud, Chris, of all the work you do, and that's a very special location on Thomas Road. So we're glad you were there on Thomas and 37th Avenue. And then Spot 127 Media Center, where we have high school students learning media, radio, and journalism. So that's a very exciting program. So I'm excited about KJazz, what they're doing over there with Spot 127. I want to say to Don Campbell, thank you for mentoring me. Thanks for the years of service. Don Campbell not only has been a contributor to the college of, 28 years of service here. He's been a contributor to the Phoenix and Maricopa, to the state, and to the whole community. He's a hero for a lot of children. He's a model of coming up with in a tough situation, raising himself, basically, from a very young age, going on to college, getting a doctorate degree. In a time it was very hard and there was a lot of discrimination. Going into the military service. I mean, geez, what a career. Well, thank you, Don, and the Campbell family.
Ms. Pearson?
I think Randolph said it all. I'll just say ditto.
Mr. Sark?
I just want to know what you can do with the other half of your life. You know, I'll never be accused of being an aficionado of fine arts. I mean, my Elvis Black Velvet collection probably isn't going to be my... But I do appreciate getting a chance to see our students in action. I happened to go to Scottsdale last Saturday night to see the Master Herald and the boys' presentation, and that was awesome. Congratulations to you and the three people in the play. I could never memorize 10 minutes, much less an hour and a half. So I encourage anybody that gets a chance to look at what is available to them in their area and the colleges and take advantage of it. It was free. You can't go wrong. Thank you.
We joke because Mr. Sarr has experience in almost every kind of work. We want to know if you do Elvis impersonations.
No.
Please don't.
You can belt a few songs.
Please don't.
I have no report. We'll go to the internal community. Dr. Glasper?
Mr. Chair, members of the board, I only have a couple of comments tonight, and first and foremost is to thank Dr. Campbell for his service and to wish him well. I know that he continues to be very busy. He has put in a lot of service in terms of this district with the Capital Development Advisory Council over the years, audit and finance, and his other board service, and as well as his community work, and he will be missed. And he's a great role model for all of us in terms of community service, so I just want to thank him for that. I also would like to acknowledge Mr. Scott Crowley, who is our past board member, who is in our audience, and he has served us well, and he served with Don. And it just makes me feel good to know that Don is leaving what I would call a great legacy in this district. In addition to that, we've had a good semester. We've continued to move forward on our Seamless Student Initiative, Seamless Student Experience, and in the spring we will have some updates for our board. We'll be rolling out our initiatives around mymaricopa.edu and others. The newsletter went out this week, and I encourage the board to be prepared for some experiences as they navigate through the new system and as we try to make this experience as seamless as possible. To each of our college presidents and vice chancellors, I want to thank them for their leadership during this semester and engaging our students. At our last board meeting, we had some great presentations, from honoring our Community College Faculty of the Year to student presentations as well, and it really demonstrates what this district is all about. And I just thank the board for their support during this semester and look forward to the spring and continuing our efforts. Thank you.
Secretary's report, Mr. Okay. Student life reports, Ms. Genesis Toole, Phoenix College.
Hi. Hello? Okay. Good evening, President Burke, members of the board, Chancellor Gospler, CEC, Maricopa, and community members. Thank you for having us. My name is Priscilla, and I'm the co-chair for Student Leadership Council. And our council has two wonderful directors, which is Genesis Toole and Diana Martinez. And it's a great thing that they're so wonderful because we had an extremely busy semester. And we have a lot of hard workers within our council, so if I could have you guys stand up, please. Can I move it? And if it wasn't for them, it wouldn't have been possible. So thank you guys, and we're going to have a presentation of all the accomplishments we've made and the direction we're headed towards. So you guys can sit down, and Clarissa Valenzuela, the other co-chair, will present.
All right, we wanted to let you guys know about SLC, advocating student empowerment through involvement. Basically, we want our students to get involved on campus, not only academically, but to make a change in the community. We work in an executive team. We have our members at large, and we work to have meetings where we establish our goals for the semester and what change we're going to make on our campus. We have our community outreach. We had our bear drive. We have it every year. Basically, we raised over 50 bears, and we took it to the Children's Hospital, where we were able to provide students, children, that is, in the hospital with these bears. Many of them were very ill, and so it was a glorious day for them to be able to meet our mascot Bumstead and as well as receive their own personal bear. We also had fundraising for our counseling department, which handles many of our students who have financial issues. So we raised money for them. We have our Thanksgiving volunteer event where we were able to go out and help the homeless by serving them food and providing them with clothing. Because we are leaders on our campus, we are recognized for many scholarships. We are now the second year running owners of the Homecoming Royalty, 2 years running, and we hope to keep that a lifelong tradition. We are URSA Student Leadership Awards recipients, among others, but many of our Student Leadership Council members are recipients of that award. We also have one of our members, Lucero Corrillo, who received the 40 Hispanic Leaders Under 40 scholarship due to Wells Fargo for all of her achievements in SLC.
Since the election just passed, civic engagement was one of the major things we wanted to touch on. And we had an event called Glow the Vote, where we wanted to ignite the interest of college students and young voters to get involved in the process of voting. And also, we had the ballot box, which Alberto Olivas was in charge of, and he came to our school. He had a forum for us, and he informed us on all the upcoming propositions, which it was my first time voting on propositions, so I was really proud of that and happy for that. And then we have various networking opportunities. 2 of our members from Student Leadership Council have been selected to be the voice for the PC campus. So it's a major thing because they bring issues of the general student population to these meetings, and they work side by side with Dr. Soli, which is the president of PC. And almost all of our members are extremely knowledgeable of the resources available to us. Therefore, it's easy for us to identify where to go to if we need help or if other students need help. So student involvement, we want to motivate and empower other students to get involved and become more with the campus. So we have homecoming, and on top of that, we do tailgating. And we have retreats where a lot of our students have gone to and come back with leadership skills they didn't have before. And then Heritage Month celebration, we always have events where we host that we have free food for the students that they can try out, something that they never tried out before. They can see performances or dances. And where we're headed right now, our direction is we're trying to brand ourselves. So our council recently voted on a new logo, and this is the logo that we voted on. So through this logo, we want to put it on flyers, and we want to put it up where people can see that SLC is hosting it. So they want to come out, and they want to join and get involved with school.
We wanted to thank you, the members, and everyone else for your time and your support with all Maricopa Community Colleges. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tess. Good evening, President Burke, board members, community members, and Chancellor Glasper and CEC for this opportunity to speak with you. I am Tessa Otero. I am a student at Phoenix College. I am alumni of the Leadership Institute program of 2012. I am a member of the Student Leadership Council, and I am a participant of the Student Public Policy Forum, as well as a member of the United Nations team at Phoenix College.
My name is Edgar Villarreal. I'm also a Phoenix College student and Leadership alumni, and also part of Student Public Policy Forum.
We are here to speak with you about Leadership, which is a week-long program that takes place in the summer. And the Maricopa Community College District is the only community college district that participates in the program. What it is week-long. We get to know students outside of our college with other students from the 10 Maricopa colleges, and we build leadership skills, and we get to know, have a better understanding of who we are and reevaluate how we can become better leaders. So what is Leadership?
Our mission is to transform the increasing people who lead with integrity and have a healthy disregard of the impossible.
And the vision is to create a just, caring, and thriving world where there is a disregard for the impossible. So how does Leadership define leadership?
They define leadership with possibility, vision, relationships, action, and integrity.
Also, effective leadership takes place in a community, so the results have positive change. This is a picture of the 2012 Leadership class. Eight students from each of the 10 colleges were picked to attend this institute, and that's a total of 80 students. Also, our advisor for Student Leadership Council, Genesis Toole, is a national facilitator. And I believe she went to Kansas this summer to host the Leadership. So the learning objectives of Leadership are?
The first 2 objectives is identifying our core, fundamental, and personal values. And the second one is to identify if our behavior corresponds to our core, fundamental, personal, and ethical values.
The second is to develop relationships that are respectful, also to create a collective vision that would have a healthy disregard for the impossible.
The fifth one is to develop the skills to successfully work in groups and accomplish a collective vision.
The next step is to identify obstacles that would infringe on our implementation of the vision. Also to increase the results, so that way we have a ripple effect.
Leadership is divided into 6 themes day by day, from day 1, building a community, to day 6, staying in action.
And on day 1, building a community, we didn't know each other, so we started off the day with meeting our family cluster facilitators, and they were leaders throughout the colleges, various colleges. This is our lead facilitator, Arthur Gregg. He is from University of Texas, Dallas, and director of the Multicultural Center there. This is Jennifer Jones, who we fondly call JJ. She is from Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, and she is director of student life. And they were the leaders of Leadership that week. We got to know each other through various icebreakers, become comfortable, and later on throughout the day we got into smaller groups, which are our family clusters, and the leaders wanted to provide an environment we were comfortable of sharing intimate things about ourselves, because throughout this very intense week, we were going to share various things that, very personal things about ourselves.
Day 2 is the value of one, the power of all. This is the day when we received very intense workshops that really challenged us to work together. The main vision of this day was to know our skills personally and apply together as one to accomplish this, the challenges that each activity gave us.
Day 3, challenging what is, looking to what could be, and day 4, bringing vision to reality. On day 3, we were given the challenge of building a big castle with balloons, and it was really fun at the end to pop them all. And then, as you can see, and then on day 4, we were given the task of creating a headline news of what our vision is for the future. Education's fully funded, a decrease in teen pregnancy. What are we passionate about? What do we want to bring change to the world? Also, we also did a blueprints breakthrough, which I provided for you to look at, which is an action plan and how can we fulfill that vision. And then we did the star power, where we realized that the real world is going to bring obstacles that would infringe on our implementing our vision.
Day 5 was living and leading with integrity. This is the day we received shirts, and we got a list of our core ethical and personal values. We listed our top 5, and each of those values affected us ourselves in the community and within ourselves. Day 6 is staying in action. This is the day where our cluster facilitators give us our certificate of completion, and we all knew during that day that what we have learned we will use within our community. So what does this mean? How I took Leadership is when they told us to get the stone, put it on our palm of our hand, and drop it in the floor. I took that as, this is the knowledge I got from Leadership. The palm represented me using that knowledge I got from Leadership, and dropping it to the floor was the ripple effect of the transformative skills that I got from Leadership that ripples to the community, including the governing board.
So what Leadership meant to me was it was an opportunity for me to get to know myself. And very few students have the opportunity to spend a week away from family, away from telephones, away from computers, to really look internally and see, what do I believe in? What are my values? What are my ethics? And also we have a support group for students to say, you know what, we're here for each other. Let's help each other with our visions.
Another transformative example, a different perspective of a Leadership alumni was, Leadership was the most positive and intense, gratifying experience of my life. I came back much better equipped to be a change agent on my campus and in my community. This is from Phil Hart in Paradise Valley Community College, 2012 Leadership alumni. So where does this start? Where does this begin? How can we build a community of people with integrity and have a healthier disregard than possible? It begins with you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Just a quick comment. I spent an evening at Leadership a year ago, in I think 11, and I just want to commend all the students who took an entire week off of their summer lives to learn about leadership. It's an enormously important skill. Thank you.
I want both groups spoke about one of the ends or one of the goals of this governing board, which is community development, civic, and global engagement. We appreciate your work in that area very much. I've just been alerted. Ben Miranda is with us tonight. He was just elected to the governing board and will take office in January. Ben, there's a chair here on the front row if you'd like to join us. The next item is the Faculty Executive Council report. Mr. Harold Cranswick.
Well, I could say I'm just like my president, so I feel pretty good about this. Good evening, President Burke, members of the governing board, Chancellor Glasper, members of CEC, and guests. I have a fairly short report first, and then a short 30-minute presentation. Just kidding. The Faculty Association would like to express our deep appreciation to Dr. Campbell for his many years of service to students, faculty, staff, and the community, most importantly. Thank you for the many hours you've given to help provide a quality education for our students. Your leadership has been invaluable, and you will be sorely missed. Lastly, I would like to say on behalf of the members of the Faculty Association, I'd like to wish everyone a joyful and safe holiday season, and we look forward to meeting with you again in the spring. Thank you.
Thank you. From the employee groups, Mr. Phil Jalowick, Adjunct Faculty Association.
Good evening, President Burke, members of the Governing Board, Chancellor Glasper, and members of CEC, and all our many guests. There are three topics that I will cover this evening, which includes individual performance, group leadership, and human resource opportunity. We are recognizing today 24 outstanding adjunct faculty who have engaged in the process of self-assessment, along with 437 of their peers in the dimensions of pedagogy, assessment, enrichment, development, and professionalism. They were amongst 135 adjunct faculty invited to move forward in the recognition process, and who amongst 34 submissions were supported by their department chairs, administrators, peers, and students as worthy of recognition as outstanding adjunct faculty for their individual performance as educators. I would like to recognize these honorees at this time. Honorees, please stand and remain standing as your name is called. Carol Allen, Rio Salado. Raymond Baszler, Estrella Mountain and Glendale. Jeannie Berg, Glendale College. Janet Franklin, Glendale College. John Hayashi, Mesa and Phoenix College. Nicole Lavigner, Chandler Gilbert College. Jennifer Moore, Mesa College. Doña Demosanu, Glendale College. Deborah Lynn Nolan, Chandler Gilbert, Glendale, and Paradise Valley College. Carrie Peskin, Estrella Mountain. Jody K. Petra, Mesa College. Timothy Ramsey, Estrella Mountain. Sandra Rath, Chandler Gilbert College. Francine Richter, Glendale College. Stephanie L. Sawyer, Glendale College. Glenn Taylor, Glendale, Paradise Valley, and Scottsdale Community College. Carl Wyant, Mesa and Rio Salado. We also have 6 honorees who are not able to attend this evening. Oh, I'm sorry. Too fast reading. We will never forget E.E. Moe from Scottsdale. We have 6 honorees who will not be able to attend this evening. Kara Fulmer, Phoenix College. Christine Liebelt Garcia from Phoenix College. Maria O'Brien from Scottsdale College. Julie Ann Palisard from Phoenix College, Andrea Simpkins from Estrella Mountain College, and Raymond Soul from Paradise Valley College. We acknowledge and sincerely appreciate all of the efforts of our honorees to excel in their profession and contribute to the success of their students. Please join with me in thanking them and congratulating them. Thank you again. The Adjunct Faculty Association is a non-profit professional organization that provides a framework for adjunct faculty to provide information, support advancement, network, encourage increased effectiveness, and advocate for resource utilization to improve education within the district. Our board of directors, including its officers, past president, and college representatives, provide at-the-table representation for the adjunct faculty employee group within the district. This includes active participation in a wide variety of standing and ad hoc committees at both the district and the college level. It also includes select communication to adjunct faculty to highlight information and college activities which is meaningful to them, as well as helping to facilitate events designed to meet their needs. It is my pleasure to introduce the current Adjunct Faculty Association Board of Directors. Please stand as your name is called. Kim Wagner Hemies, our current Vice President. See if she made it away from Rio Salado. She's busy providing services to students. Glenn Taylor, another of our Vice Presidents. Michelle Kemp from Chandler Gilbert.
Behind you.
Over there. Michelle Kemp has the honor of being the only adjunct faculty board member who's served longer than I have. Congratulations, Michelle. We have Phyllis Salcedo from Mesa College. We have Licia Hand from Phoenix College. She was working on home activities. Roxanne Beckstrom Sternberger who from Paradise Valley, who wasn't able to attend this evening. Paris Masick from South Mountain College. We also have Michael Powell, our past president, who wasn't able to attend this evening. Jill Nico from Estrella Mountain College. Carolyn Carragher Montano from Gateway. And Polly Laubach from Glendale College. On behalf of adjunct faculty throughout the district, I sincerely express our thanks and appreciation to all the members of the AFA board, as well as the many, many active members of the AFA committees for their tireless efforts on behalf of the district and adjunct faculty who serve our students. The thousands of adjunct faculty represent a very broad constituency of needs and interests, and serving this constituency often requires unique and very creative approaches. This includes recognition processes, committee structures, and even how the board of directors and its officers are selected. Over the last couple of years, the Adjunct Faculty Association has engaged in a large variety of new and innovative approaches to this, serving the adjunct faculty employee group to improve understanding, foster engagement, and facilitate enhanced effectiveness. Innovation is an exciting and challenging pursuit, which requires a great deal of determination and focus on the end goals to achieve making real differences. The way we educate will be different, must be different going forward. And it will take all the resources and ingenuity at our disposal to achieve our stated objectives. The district has thousands of skilled and passionate educators who the outstanding adjunct faculty you appropriately recognized and applauded this evening are but a small sample. And we feel that it is imperative that the district exercise more creativity to take advantage of the opportunity it has before it in its adjunct faculty and develop more innovative approaches to fully engage them and the potential of the wealth of resources it has in its adjunct faculty. if it is to achieve our goals for student success and the completion agenda. Thank you very much. I want to wish the governing board members, all the members of CEC, a happy, healthy holiday season and a positive, growing new year.
Thank you. The board appreciates all of the adjunct faculty coming to the board meeting tonight. We appreciate your professionalism, your dedication to students, and we want you to know that we value you very highly. Thank you very much. The next report is from Ms. Genesis Toole and Ms. Kayla Weinecker of the Women's Leadership Group.
Good evening, President Burke, members of the board, Chancellor Glasper, CEC, the Maricopa family, and other guests from the community. My name is Genesis Toole, and I serve as co-chair for WLG this year, the Women's Leadership Group, as well as Director of Student Life and Leadership for Phoenix College. And I get to work with all these fabulous students on a daily basis, so I'm very proud of that.
And I'm Kayla Weinecker. I'm Genesis' partner in crime, also a co-chair for Women's Leadership Group. And I have the great fortune of continuing to work with Dr. Campbell as the scholarship coordinator for the Maricopa Community Colleges Foundation.
Can we make sure that partner in crime is not on the record, please? Incriminating evidence later. Okay. We're here to share with you what WLG's been working on this past summer, throughout the fall, and then what we hope to accomplish during the spring semester.
We'll start by sharing our mission and priorities. The mission of the Women's Leadership Group is to provide for continuous development of a strong and supportive work environment for the diverse women, and I would submit to you all employees of the Maricopa Community Colleges. We do so through advocacy, communication, networking opportunities, partnerships, personal and professional development, and recognition.
Our theme this year that Kayla and I brainstormed this summer was Your Voice, Your Influence, Your Maricopa. And it's not only about empowering all of the employees within Maricopa, but really encouraging them to have ownership and influence over all the processes that are the exciting changes that are happening in Maricopa. So from the One Maricopa to the seamless student experience, we know that WLG members are part of those processes throughout the district. So we really wanted them to feel empowered throughout making those decisions.
Next, we'll share with you our wildly important goals for the current academic year. The first two we came up with ourselves as co-chairs. The first is to foster inclusivity in and access to WLG for all Maricopa employees. The second is to enhance WLG's operational infrastructure, including things like databases, systems, and so on. The second two wildly important goals were developed through consultation with our constituency. We did a summer retreat and received a lot of feedback from our constituency. And those two WIGs are to increase availability of opportunities for personal and professional growth available to all WLG members, and to revitalize WLG's image through branding and marketing.
And just to say, the first one, obviously, foster inclusivity and access to WLG was something that was also felt very much at the retreat that we put on. This is kind of our event schedule. So we just had our annual conference on November 9th at Glendale Community College. It was a great success. The theme for the annual conference was, again, our annual theme of Your Voice, Your Influence, Your Maricopa. We had a professional growth fair. We had wonderful leadership activity about integrity that Sherry Faulkner led. We had a wonderful, motivating, and informative keynote speaker, Catherine Sturmitz, who's a professor at ASU. And then we had many breakout sessions in the afternoon that focused on professional and personal growth. I want to thank publicly Leah Dustin Hall and the committee that worked really hard to facilitate that opportunity for all students. I mean, not students. Woo, student life leadership. Woo, all employees. Okay, the other thing that we have, and this is coming up, is our Women of Distinction Luncheon. So go ahead and put that on all of your calendars. It's going to be on April the 24th. We are Women of Distinction, just in case you haven't ever attended, is to honor someone that's chosen by each campus who is a woman of distinction. And also, we also award 2 or 3 scholarships at that event. We are hoping to exemplify the One Maricopa initiative by streamlining the Women of Distinction process, the nomination and selection process. So we are hoping that that will increase the diversified nomination pool, as well as have a really objective selection process. So you may hear of that, the changes that are to come. We also have ongoing campus events, so each campus is responsible for different events throughout the semester, so hopefully you're hearing about those. And those programmings are in line with our priorities and missions to provide professional and personal growth for our members at each campus. And then we have our monthly meetings. One way that we decided to increase access was to rotate those meetings, so now they're at different campuses, and we really hope that that increases the accessibility to our members. So our next meeting is going to be in February the 6th from 2 to 4. They're always the first Wednesdays of the month, except we're skipping January because of the busy season. So please put that on your calendar, and we'll love to see you at Gateway on February 6th from 2 to 4.
I'm also very pleased to share with you that we've started some new traditions, the first being a summer retreat, which I already mentioned. The second being a Rising Star Emerging Leaders Award reception that we'll hold on June 13th, 2013. In keeping with what our predecessors, Dr. Kate McNamara from South Mountain and Ms. Christina Stock from Gateway, were working on, we will be providing recognition for emerging leaders and new talent in the district, while at the same time raising funds for our legacy endowment at the Maricopa Community Colleges Foundation, which will support professional development for our members. And last but not least, we'd like to recognize and share with you all of the wonderful people that we have the privilege of working with on a volunteer basis to support the women of Maricopa Community Colleges. And you'll see probably some familiar names up there, one of them being Ms. Nikki Jackson, who is our CEC liaison this year, and we're fortunate to have her. And I'd like to go ahead and take the opportunity to see if there are any members in the audience who would like to stand and be recognized. Don't be shy. We know practically all of you are members.
Aren't y'all members up there too? Can we raise a hand if we're not doing it today? Raise a hand if you're a member. Yeah, hi. I know we have more than you. Okay, all right. Thank you.
So with that, we'd like to thank you for we'd like to thank you for allowing us the opportunity to share with you, and also extend our invitation to help you with anything that you might need help with or be interested in pursuing. You're welcome to contact Genesis and I at any time. So thank you, and happy holidays. And Dr. Campbell, it's been a pleasure to have you around all these years, and we best wishes to you on behalf of WLG.
Thank you.
Well, the Women's Leadership Group has been one of the strongest programs in this district, at least for 3 decades and perhaps longer. So we appreciate the work that you do and all of the help that you provide the employees of this district. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vice Chancellor reports, Dr. Maria Harper-Marinick.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Members of the board, Chancellor, CEC colleagues, and guests. Some of our student athletes have had a great season, and tonight we would like to acknowledge some of them and celebrate their success. So I will ask Felicia Ganther, who is the Associate Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, to please introduce the students and the coaches.
Thank you, Dr. Harper-Marinick. President Burke, members of the board, Chancellor Glasper, and members of CEC and guests, we have champions in the building. And because we know that they are athletic scholars, we do not want to hold them long because this is finals and they need to study. That is correct. So, let me begin by announcing Phoenix College. Would our Phoenix College volleyball team please stand? PC's volleyball proved to be the campus champions, winning the volleyball's regional championship and securing 10th in the National Junior College Athletic Association tournament. So they are here and they have presented their trophy. Where's the trophy? And they are represented this evening with Samantha Zell, who's our head coach, Amanda Lieberman, team, Kayla Kane, Monet Olmos, Hannah Willis, Danielle Capoletti, Miranda Michelson, Maze Tapalatu, Jane Tukia, Lou Phillips, Kaylin Egia, Carly Eddington, Ali Colace, Kelsey Sitton, Brandy Adams, Nicole Goss, and Brooke Razzo. Thank you. Paradise Valley, will you please stand? Paradise Valley Community College, a powerhouse in the North Valley. Defeated Brevard Community College in the NJCAA Division I National Championships in women's soccer. The Pumas were also named the Arizona Community College Athletic Champions, District A champions, and Region 1 champions in their pursuit of the national title. Here today is the athletic director, Greg Silcox, women's soccer's national champion team captain, Jennifer Richards, who's holding this very beautiful trophy, and the men's cross-country team who placed third at nationals, Matt Wicklot and John Winfield. Thank you. Last, we had a rumble in the valley. Glendale Community College football finished their season on a high note, ranked number 17 in the entire football National Junior College Athletic Association. That's pretty high. The team appeared in their 4th Valley of the Sun Bowl, defeating Mesa Community College by a score of 41-35. That wasn't like that Texans game last night. Of their 4 appearances in this bowl game, the team has won 3. Overall, their record this season was 8-3. Representing Glendale Community College, Athletic Director David Grant, will you please stand? Head coach of the football, Mickey Bell, Assistant Coach J.D. Sollers, and team captains, Robert Wheeler, Stephen Garola, and Matthew Figuet. Thank you very much. Recognize all of the athletic directors, all of the specialists, the coaches that have been supporting our academic athletic scholars. Would you please stand and be recognized as well? Thank you very much.
Thank you, and congratulations to the teams. We're proud of you. The next report is from Ms. Nikki Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Members of the governing board, CEC members, members of the community, if you would indulge me for a few minutes. Later tonight, members of the board, you have coming before you a first read of a document entitled the Staff Policy Manual. And this document reflects the hard work of a number of people, a number of groups of employees that have been working collaboratively, tirelessly over the last year to bring this document to fruition. We, as many of you know, have started with about 10 separate policy manuals, and there are a number of items contained in a number of these manuals, personnel policies, that would include an all-employee manual, a blue book. We've had a 5-staff employee group manual, specially funded employee manual, CEC manual. So this, a number of manuals, adds a number of complexities, as you might imagine, to our ability to practition from a human resources standpoint within the Human Resources Department and across the system. So I don't need to tell you how inefficient that model is and how confusing it is for all. But a few years ago, a process was begun to address this confusion, and under the Chancellor's leadership, the 5-staff employee groups led by PSA came together to create, with an attempt to create a single staff policy manual. And that led to the development of an all-employee manual, and it was a great, fantastic starting point, but it actually became yet another separate document that was applicable to all staff employees. Let me add, without judging, however, that admittedly HR at that time was not really present in that engagement and probably not helpful as it relates to the genesis of that document, so the employees had to do the best that they could with the support that they had. So now a lot of that's changed, and so we have brought a consultant now from Cornell who's helping us with IBN, which is interest-based negotiations, and thinking very differently, not just about what policy is, but how it comes to be. The folks that are now involved in the common staff policies have received training, intensive training, that involves understanding how to advocate interests, educating one another on issues, and how to jointly determine solutions from a position of mutuality. In the summer of 2011, and under the direction of the facilitator, Eddie Jenna, from our faculty group, the 5 staff employee groups and a team of administrative personnel came together to work in earnest on these manuals and creating one staff policy. It was tough. There wasn't a lot of trust, as we all know. That's one of the areas that we could stand to do better in, but we're growing in that regard. And there's a lot of baggage. There was elephants in the room that we had to deal with, quite frankly. And under Eddie's leadership and with the determination and the work of all the participants, we began to create trust in discernible ways and began to develop relationships in ways that we hadn't before. So eventually the group formed these sub-teams, and out of that, after meeting every other week for 4 hours straight for over a year, in May of 2012, the group reached consensus on 4 common policies. That is the grievance procedure, the non-policy issue resolution, posting selection and lateral exchanges and transfers, and corrective actions. And so these policies were ratified in early fall of 2012. At this time, I'd like to recognize the folks who have made a significant footprint in this body of work. So not only does this mark for us an opportunity to think very differently about the what of policy and the how of policy, that is what we're creating and how we're creating it, but it also is a great indication of what the power of One Maricopa could really look like in action. We have amassed a team, not a MAT team or a PSA team or an administrative team. There is one team that came together in furtherance of that goal, and I'd like to recognize them. If you wouldn't mind standing, please, just for a moment so that we can recognize you. Our wonderful facilitator, Eddie Jenna. From MAT, Carrie Mitchell, who's the president, Alyssa Brown, Dan Houston, and Christine Hall, if they're here today. From M&O, Cheryl Caldwell, who's the president, Carl Blevins, and Cynthia Scott. From Public Safety, John Boylan, who's president, and Stephen Scarlett. Crafts, Ted Georges, president, David Thompson. Yeah, stand up, Ted, thank you. David Messenbergen. From the administration, okay, from the administration, Paula Norby, Jim Bowers, Carol Garcia, Judy Castellanos, Rochelle McMurray, Martha Anderson, Gay Murphy, Neil Newman. And from PSA, Cecilia Correz, who's the president, Donna Winston, CPD chair, Lynn Mary, Shannon Ridgway Monaco, Donna Owens, Sally Hervey. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking them for their efforts. And I'd like to just especially thank the PSA leadership team, who has provided unparalleled, unrelenting support of this body of work and has been very visible and very vocal in insisting that this administration move toward this direction, and we're happy to oblige that request. It's the right thing to do. So thank you all for what you've done. Thank you, Mr. Burke.
Thank you. Good report. Everybody's working together. College reports. Dr. Anna Solly, Phoenix College.
Good evening, Mr. Burke, members of the Governing Board, Chancellor Glasper, colleagues, and guests. We are pleased to share information with you concerning the medic to paramedic program at Phoenix College. This signature program was featured at the recent Latinos Who Serve luncheon, and you do have a copy of the program. This particular luncheon was created in partnership with the Raul H. Castro Institute at Phoenix College, Latino Perspectives Magazine, and SRP. The event also honored men and women who serve our country and community in the armed forces, in law enforcement, and in emergency response areas and departments. The PC Medic to Paramedic program prepares veteran Army medics to become civilian paramedics. Many of the students in the program served in harm's way in Iraq or Afghanistan and are now using their GI Bill benefits in the Army's tuition assistance program to get the coursework and clinical training they need to become paramedics in the community. Our program is a prime example of a program for recareering veteran students. Our faculty and staff take great pride in giving our veterans a high-quality educational experience that extends beyond simply offering them benefits. And here to tell you more about this wonderful program, and Dr. Campbell, take note, as a retired governing board member, you can come and teach at PC. Let me introduce Scott Crowley, who is a director of our Emergency Medical Technology program, and our wonderful department chair as well, our esteemed chair, Rick Wilson, who's department chair of Criminal Justice, Emergency Response, and Legal Studies, two highly respected and esteemed faculty members.
Mr. Chair, Governing Board, Chancellor Glasper, CEC, good to see everybody. The best part of my presentation is a video, so you don't have to even hear me talk. So I'm going to go ahead and start it for you.
14, 15, 16. A paramedic provides emergency medical assistance to victims as part of a rescue or firefighting squad, different than a military medic who is trained to treat battlefield wounds. The paramedic program at Phoenix College builds on this military experience by expanding skills that help veterans transition into the civilian workforce.
There is a lot of experience over in Iraq and Afghanistan from these students in this class. So their experience in trauma might be really high.
The paramedic program goes beyond what military medics are taught. Students here say it's much more involved than just dealing with battlefield trauma.
You get shot or something's bleeding, we patch it up and we get you to the hospital. But as far as the whole medical side of why is this person in pain versus he got shot, that's the part that Army medics tend to not get involved with it as much, and that's the part that we're really learning now.
Okay, you're going to be dispatched to a 60-year-old male that's found down by his wife in his residence. Okay. So these are your team members. Go ahead and voice treat the entire scenario.
In addition to working on the mannequin, learning how to handle a megacode, many hours are spent in the classroom, both learning and being tested in preparation for the final licensing exam.
We're going to be covering GI emergencies and renal system emergencies. These are some of the most baffling emergency medical scenarios you'll see out there in the streets.
The program is designed for returning vets and those on active duty. 500 hours of classroom instruction and 250 hours of clinical training are spread throughout day and evening classes.
The real fun part for me is to have them come to my ER at 7 p.m., spend 12 hours with me in the ER, and letting them get their hands dirty with procedures. The thing about running on an ambulance is you only get one shot. You only get one shot at helping that person. And if you're not really well prepared for anything and everything, you often lose that opportunity in the first couple minutes to make a difference.
Active duty medics are excited about the fact that the skills and training attained in this program are then taken back to their units.
My goals while I'm in the Army will be to continue training other soldiers to be good medics, and we go on numerous humanitarian missions, which this background is going to come in handy when we go on those missions to third world countries.
These men and women have spent a lot of time serving our country, and to see everyone get through the program successfully and complete the program is really what myself and the other instructors are here for.
Reporting for Maricopa Now, I'm Deanne Kincaid.
As you can see by the video, the staff here did a fantastic job on MCTV, and I just wanted to thank all of them publicly as well. Thank you, Dr. Sully, for supporting the program over at Phoenix College, and thank all of you for the support for our vets and returning to education. Dr. Campbell, it was great to see you tonight. I'm glad I was able to come to the board meeting and say farewell for your last board meeting. It was incredible having you as a mentor when I was a board member, so I just want to say thank you very much, and hope you and your wife have a fantastic holiday.
One comment.
Yes, sir.
Did Dr. Solly say that you could teach after you retired?
I have a slot open for you.
The question I have is, being on the board was free. Now, when you teach, you get paid?
Come on over anytime, Doctor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. External community, AADGB, the Arizona Association of District Governing Board members will meet in January. That's the only report I have. ASBA?
ASBA, the Association of Governing Board Members here in Arizona, both K-12 and community college, will be holding their annual convention starting tomorrow, actually, here in the Valley, and we look forward to a lot of good information from that.
And add to that, Dana and I and Maria Harper-Marinick and a lot of other staff are working on a presentation we're doing on Thursday at the ASBA School Board, and Dana is doing a second presentation. He's doing two presentations. So we're trying to improve our relationships with the K-12 system and become partners in many, many ways.
Good, thank you. We do not have a legislative report tonight, I understand. Okay. The agenda, we are to the agenda, and I will entertain a motion to approve the order of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Dr. Campbell moves, Ms. Pearson seconds the motion to approve the order of the agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. The next item is the consent agenda. I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Ms. Pearson moves. Mr. Lum seconds a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there anyone who wants to remove an item from the consent agenda? Hearing none. All those in favor of the consent agenda, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Under the non-consent agenda, the first item is a resolution authorizing the creation of a Maricopa Corporate College. Dr. Glasper?
Mr. Chair, members of the board, before I make the recommendation, I would just like to make a few general comments. Beginning in fiscal year 2007-8, the nation started to go into a recession. And Arizona had its shares of ups and downs, and at that particular time they had a number of challenges in terms of balancing its budget. All state agencies were asked to contribute in order to continue our efforts in the state of Arizona to strive towards a balanced budget. Since 2007 until today, we have reduced our budgets with state resources in the neighborhood of about $61 million. Over that time, we have also become more effective and more efficient. We've reduced our budgets in the areas of expenditures throughout our system across 10 colleges, the district office, and 2 skills centers. And we have continued to try and innovate at the same time. We have gone from a high in 1986. I think I've shared that we were at about 27% share of our general fund budget from the state. We are now at about 1.2, 1.4% share from the state. The state did not get any resolution towards the balancing of its budget with the Prop 204 and is therefore looking to find about $1 billion in order to continue funding levels. So we aren't sure what will happen to the remaining $8.4 million that we might have moving forward. But all this is to say that in the years to come, and we have projected that it will take probably 5 to 7 years before we will receive any additional monies in earnest from the state. Over the last 4 to 5 years, and specifically we've come to the board and asked for increases in tuition once and property taxes once, and we've continued to try to move forward. We are in need of another replacement revenue to add to our stool. We have historically had 3 stable funding sources: tuition, property taxes, and state aid. One leg of that stool is missing, and what you have in front of you is an opportunity for us to look at another One Maricopa initiative, which is the creation of a corporate college, and to put all of our efforts around non-credit corporate training and focus this as if it were a business, a profit entity, so that we can bring resources into our system and be able to reallocate resources to our colleges. We will not give up our efforts to prioritize. We've simultaneously started a prioritization activity headed up by Vice Chancellor Deborah Thompson, and we're going to roll that out. But at the same time, we also need to roll out this new initiative that will focus on a portion of our system moving towards some level of privatization. We will push more partnerships with corporate. We will push the efficiencies of trying to pull together the disparate activities at 10 colleges into one main focus. And with that in mind, the recommendation tonight is that the governing board approve the resolution to authorize the creation of a Maricopa corporate college, and corporate colleges in small letters, because this is not a college, this is not an accredited institution. The purpose of which is to link all 10 colleges in the district office and establishing infrastructure to manage contract training and consulting services, continuing education, as well as entrepreneurial initiatives such as incubators. The corporate college will be a separate non-accredited Maricopa entity and will be a one-stop corporate sales and training resource for the community. The new college would initially capitalize on the use of existing resources until it becomes self-supporting, which means human resources and some financial resources. And if the board approves this resolution, we will develop over the spring a business plan, a staffing plan, and an overall assessment as to where we think the corporate college can go. This is built around a national model, the Global Corporate College, of which currently Gateway is a member and one of the stronger supporters of corporate training throughout the nation. And we think that this is an opportunity for Maricopa and one that I think can be utilized in other areas of the state of Arizona. So with that, I make the recommendation to our governing board to support the resolution.
Floor is open to a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the creation of a Maricopa Corporate College.
I move we authorize the authorization of creating a corporate college.
Okay, second. Mr. Lum moves, Ms. Pearson second, the approval of this resolution. Is there discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to add, I'd like to thank those who were so innovative, Chancellor Glasper and Dr. Giovannini, as far as your input, and everybody else that put their work into this. I think it's a great idea. I think we need to start working in partnership with business, how we can work with them, but making it clear that this is not a competition to our other colleges. It's, like I say, small C corporate, college, as far as it's not accredited. I think working with businesses, creating jobs for people, and they keep saying how businesses are not coming to Arizona, not coming to the Maricopa area because we don't have the trained staff, and we want to address that. And I think that is what we're addressing. It's not just, of course, we'd like to bring in some new revenues, but I think we also need to feel a need of making this a better community with full employment.
Thank you. Others? Ms. Pearson?
I also wanted to thank everyone for helping to move us into the direction for more entrepreneurial type focus and energy. As we know, small businesses who employs small businesses are created by entrepreneurs, and that is where the greatest changes and connection to the needs and the markets of this area will be addressed, and that's where the opportunity is. And teaching our students what it means, helping them to take concepts and ideas and actually putting them into a business, making it work. And so many times people have these ideas, but they don't know what to do. They don't know how to make it happen. They don't know how to begin. And so then the idea is lost in the unknown and what they fear from that unknown. And so I really am excited about this because I do honestly believe that there's some brilliance, some creative ideas, and some connection to what is needed and ideas as to how to fill the needs in this state and in this community. And I know that they're in the hearts and the minds of our students. We just need to learn to have them learn how to unleash it and empower them with that knowledge and the entrepreneurial ways of business. So thank you very much.
Sorry? Okay.
I agree.
Dr. Campbell, you have a comment?
I support it.
All right. I think we're finished with the discussion. Then all of those in favor of the resolution, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Carries unanimously.
Thank you.
The next item is let's see, the approval of a pending claim settlement Winifred Harner versus MCCCD. Dr. Glasper, would you care to comment?
I would ask our legal counsel to present this item.
The board's been briefed on this matter extensively in executive session, and for all the reasons we've explained to you, trial counsel and I support this settlement.
Okay. I entertain a motion to approve the pending claim settlement with Winifred Harner. Dr. Campbell moves. Ms. Pearson seconds a motion for approval of a pending claim settlement. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. Under Business Services, we have the approval of a job order contracting construction award for the Kirk Student Center remodel of the Navajo and Zuni rooms at Mesa Community College. Ms. Thompson, would you care to comment?
Mr. President, members of the board, this is a renovation of some of the larger conference space that exists in the Kirk Center, about 6,000 square feet. It also includes the installation of a new mechanical unit and ductwork in order to deal with some inadequate air issues that exist and some energy-efficient lighting that will help the college and save some expenses. It is part of a larger project around the Kirk Center, a renovation of the Kirk Center, and an expansion and the creation of a student portal or one-stop center, and we do recommend that the board approve the contract.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
I move we approve this item.
Okay. Mr. Lum moves.
Second.
Mr. Sarr seconds. The approval of a job order contracting construction award for the Kirk Student Center remodel of the Navajo and Zuni rooms at Mesa Community College. Any discussion?
Yeah, this is one of our older colleges, and I think we really need some renovation there. So I compliment Dr. Pan in innovating this and keeping our schools safe and modern. Thank you.
All right. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. The next item is the approval of a construction contract award for athletic fields lighting at Scottsdale Community College. Ms. Thompson?
Mr. President, members of the board, this involves work on lighting in both the football field and the softball field, and it is recommended in order to allow for the proper play of those sports.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve this contract award? Dr. Sarr moves. Dr. Campbell seconds a motion for the approval of the construction contract award for athletic fields lighting at Scottsdale Community College. Any discussion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say that this will help in a lot of ways. The fields will be more well lit and less lit around the neighboring areas, so this is a good move.
All right, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of the construction contract award, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. The next item is the approval of a construction contract award for running track resurfacing at Mesa Community College. Ms. Thompson?
Mr. President, members of the board, also an award for some athletic fields. It is related to the running track at Mesa. It's a 10-lane track. It's showing a lot of sign of wear and tear and needs to be resurfaced, and the new materials that are being used hopefully will be more durable and longer wearing than the current materials.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the resurfacing of the track at Mesa Community College?
Second.
Mr. Sarr moves. Mr. Lum seconds the motion for the approval of this contract. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously. The next item is a first reading, an information item, of a review of the proposed staff policy manual. Ms. Jackson, would you care to comment further?
Thank you, Mr. Burke, members of the board. This is the item that I was referencing earlier, and it is submitted for first reading to the board, and our hope is to submit the same for your approval next month, and we appreciate your consideration.
Thank you very much. For the audience, we have a presentation and any policy manual change on one meeting, and we vote on it on a subsequent meeting, and that allows the public to have a review of the change. So we will vote on this matter at our January meeting, business meeting. The next item is monitoring reports.
Can we go back to that?
Yes.
I have a question. So now that we have had the public review, changes or any kind of modifications then or amendments have to then be put through the same process according to our policy of having to have something seen twice on
No.
a board agenda?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
No, Mr. Chair, members of the board, first reading is an opportunity for us to submit changes, and during this due diligence stage, which is 1 month, then we'll bring back these changes, and we would incorporate them as appropriate, and the board can decide whether or not they want to accept them as amended moving forward. That has been our historic practice in terms of first and second reading.
Right, thank you.
Ms. Thompson, monitoring report.
Mr. President, members of the board, this is the budget analysis report for the first 5 months of the fiscal year, so through November. And as I have indicated in the past, it is comparing the budget with the actual expenditures that have occurred, as well as actual revenue collections. In terms of expenditures, we are at the same pace as in prior years, which, as I've indicated in the past, is to be expected because most of our expenditures are in payroll, and it's a biweekly process every year. So you would typically expect to see your spending patterns the same from year to year, and they are. In terms of revenues, they also are on pace with prior years. Similar reasoning, we collect most of our tuition in the August and January time periods, and then our property taxes October, November, and then April, May. Our collections and property taxes were as strong as in prior years, so we do seem on course to be spending within the level of the resources that were adopted by the budget last May, and we will meet our financial stability requirement.
Thank you. Any questions of Ms. Thompson? Okay. Our next board meeting will be January 8 at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Now, this is a board retreat, but it's open to the public, and those oftentimes at our board retreats or work sessions, we don't get a lot of public members there. But I encourage you to come because we are going to begin discussing our policies, the chancellor limitations, and the chancellor's interpretations. And the board is looking at what we do, and we are going to have time to discuss those. So I encourage those of you in the audience who are interested to come and listen to that discussion. With that, this meeting is adjourned.